partner and I had a ceremony in 2009 with an officiant. So would we just get the form and, or would we, I guess I'm still kind of confused about, could the officiant that was at our ceremony in 2009 just sign off on the form?
Do you have a civil union from
Or a marriage?
No, we just had.
It was a ceremony. It was a recognition of the.
Yeah. And had pictures and.
Right. So I mean, I would think that the officiant then could
Just
sign off.
sign off.
Right.
It could be that official, but it also could be any other official. It doesn't have to be that same one. Because that one is not recognized by Illinois. So
Okay.
you still need to enter as if you were single and
Right. You
divorced.
still have to go through the application, through the clerk's
Right,
office,
right.
but then they can sign off.
I think one of the nightmares that all of us in long-term same-sex relationships have had is a partner passing and families swooping in saying, you have no right to his things or the house. Or, if a civil union couple dies intestate, God will, is it automatic that that problem is solved?
Yes, and a little bit of a no, but just like with marriages, somebody can contest the will, but a married, a survivor in a marriage has certain rights under the law to certain share of the property, to, even if the will is contested and there are children involved, there's automatic presumption that the married survivor can go to court and get, I don't want to say alimony, but payments for maintenance. And those are presumptions that are built into the law, and they will apply to a couple in a civil union. If somebody dies, it will, even in a married couple, a will can be challenged. When somebody dies without a will, they can also be challenged as family members by interested parties. But with civil unions, just like with marriages, there's certain protections for the surviving spouse or partner.
It sounds like you can protect your property if one of you does something really stupid. So my question is, can you protect your property or your assets what if one person becomes critically ill and has a lot of medical bills? Because I've heard of marriages that had to divorce to save their finances and their assets.
I think that would be the same for civil union as well. But you have to consult sort of a true expert in that. But I think that the expectation is that would be the same for civil union couples.
Just a quick logistical question. Here in your county, there's multiple courthouses. Does it matter? Is there one courthouse that deals with the single county, or can we go to any of the? We go to the Rolling Meadows courthouse, or we have to go into the city?
You can. I checked on that. You can.
Okay, I have a few questions. Going back to earlier about filing the state income tax. If you have a civil union, but yet you file separately, is there a penalty basically for you when you do it that way? I mean, is it going to cost you more with the state?
I'm not an tax attorney.
Right. I think
Look,
you have to calculate.
Well, if you file, I think if you're married, I know for federal benefits, if you file, and if you're married, it's my understanding that when you file jointly, you get some tax benefits. But if you file separately, there's kind of some penalties, or it costs you a lot more. And I'm wondering with the state, if you did file separately, even though you were in a civil union, would you have basically penalties, or not penalties, but you'd end up paying a lot more taxes than you would have if you filed jointly?
That I don't know, and our concern was making sure that same-sex couples in the civil union have the same options and benefits and protections as married couples do. So, as long as they treat it the same way as married couples, then that was our goal. I don't know, and really I don't know, to be honest with you, what tax implications are for those who choose the different options that are available to them.
Right. I think you'd have to look at your situation too, and your partner's situation and your assets and everything too.
How does the state know that you're in the civil union? I mean, And especially those of us that already got married somewhere else or whatever, and now we have no paperwork for Illinois because we're not getting anything, right? Those of us won't have a certificate saying that we have a civil union in Illinois. So how does the state know that we are civil partners or anybody else, the hospital or?
It's by you marking that box on top of the form and then sending in the back where you say, I certify under the penalty of perjury that what I'm telling you here is correct. So that's the enforcement mechanism. And they may not know otherwise, unless they do an audit. If they do know that they find out that you did not say it correctly, then
that's on you.
then all the penalties of perjury apply.
And for the hospital also, that you just tell them and you don't have to show anything?
If the hospitals currently do not ask for a marriage certificate as proof of a relationship for heterosexual couples, we expect that they don't ask for any proof of relationship from same-sex couples.
Okay, and one more. If a partner inherits after the surviving partner inherits after their partner dies, according to the state, there's no taxes for that person inheriting property?
Right. If they own a property as a married civil union couple, then the surviving spouse inherits that property just outright. Under federal law, there's still tax implications. There are certain limits as to what's not taxed and the person inherited, the rest is taxed. But again, under state law, it will not be taxed.
I just have one other question. When we go and have our civil union done, we file our paperwork, name change. If I decide I want to take my partner's name, do I have to do anything special, or is that handled basically the same as a heterosexual couple getting married?
Based on my understanding, because my wife and I got married in Massachusetts, and because that is considered a legal document, she was able to change Social Security card and driver's license and everything, because basically when we did our marriage license, it asked what name we were going to be called after we were married, and she chose, and I'm very glad that she chose my last name.
That was marriage, it's the same applies to civil union.
If they're equal.
Well, and civil union, again, name changes are also orders of the court. So, when you apply to the court to change your name, the court issues an order. So it's an order of the court, which is required to be recognized by all the elected officials in the state, which is separate from contracts, where some states say, well, we won't recognize civil unions because it's a contract which is going to do that piece. Whereas with court orders, it's enforced in all the sister states.
So the civil union paperwork is the court order?
No, the name change.
That's what I mean though, the name change on the civil union.
I was just looking at the civil union form. It didn't say, what are going to be the names of the parties after the civil union. So we'll need to get back to you as to whether it's done automatically with the civil union.
Maybe an
or
extra
where you
step
go.
that you have
Yeah.
to take, which, I think other couples have done that, either in a commitment ceremony or, like you said, through marriage. I mean, in the end, you can change your name, but I think there's a cost factor in that, though.
Is there?
There's a cost factor in that.
Right. If you have to go separately to the courts. Yeah, we'll find out that answer. Something that gives us weight when we go to speak to lawmakers across the entire state is to say we represent tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of citizens and residents of Illinois, voters across the state. And we can do that authoritatively when we have members who stand with us and support us. And May is Membership Month for Equality Illinois, where we look to our members to provide us the support that we need to have a powerhouse, a bipartisan advocacy team in Springfield, to have our efforts across the, to support our educational efforts across the entire state. So when you are reflecting back on this community forum on civil unions and how great they're going to be, think about becoming a member of Equality Illinois. Go to our website, respond to any of our emails, call us, and we'll guide you on how to become a member. It is if you allow me to say this, as little as $3 a month. But then you become a member and you allow us to have an aggressive advocacy effort that kills in 48 hours and effective different civil unions, just like we did 3 weeks ago, that allow us to pass civil unions in 3.5 years when our sister states are taking a decade to do that, and so that we can continue doing our work.
Just also lastly, I'm sorry, we put together a publication, and this was before the bill passed, called Strangers in the Eyes of the Law, so now we're in the process of changing it, but it's the 648 reasons why marriage equality matters in Illinois. So these are some of those laws that we were talking about, and they're all put into a nice, neat little booklet. Again, we're in the process of changing it over to reflect the new law, and we've actually run out of the booklets, but this is all online, so if anybody is interested, you can access it online. If you're looking for some of those specific laws that pertain to you, you can find it here. Okay, so I just wanted to make a mention of that you know that this resource exists.